What's going on, y'all? This your girl Shauna Speaks, and this is the Male Female Perspective Podcast. And tonight we have a dope show with my co-host, Comply.
What's up, Shauna? How you doing today?
I'm good.
How was your day?
It's been good. So, you know how we doing this on this podcast. Let's go.
Let's get it.
What's going on? This is the Male Female Podcast, the Male Female Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and I'm here with my co-host, Just Comply.
Shauna.
What's going on, Comply? How you doing today?
I'm just ready to get into this particular topic right here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all. Today, we're going to give you 45, but it might go longer. I'll let you tell them. What are we talking about today, Comply? Because I'm all over the place. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the double standards. The double standards. The double standards that, you know, we're noticing in these streets. Let's go ahead and just put it that way.
The double standard in these streets.
The
in
double
this dating
standard
pool.
in these streets. Yeah. It's rough out here. I understand. I came across a couple of different subjects in regards to the double standard, and definitely want to jump in on a few of them.
Please do.
One of the things that I really recognize and I wanted to talk about because it frustrates me listening to it. Right, because I'm a fair person.
Yes.
So I believe that what you give a person is what you deserve in return. Right.
Okay.
I don't think that you should have unrealistic expectations of a person. So one of the topics that I think is a huge double standard is the conversation about body counts.
Oh, you about to make people.
Here it is. There it is. And see, I didn't even warn you about that one.
My name is Pick Me Shauna, and this is my co-host, Comply the Panda.
Here it goes.
That is what they gonna do to us, Comply. But again, I digress. And that's not what we are. Just playing. Don't come for us.
Don't come. Unless
Believe my pawn. Don't come for my co-host.
But I didn't even warn you that this was where I was about to go, but we're gonna go here because it was something that it's a topic that frustrates the mess out of me, and it frustrates me because I think that, and I can only speak for my men now. I think us men are extremely unrealistic in regards to our standard that we set for women. Because if I say to you, hey, Shauna, what's your body count? And you tell me whatever number. For one, I don't know why I'm asking you that particular question. Because,
and for two, you ain't going to know if I'm telling the truth.
I don't know if you're going to be telling the truth. But it's wild to me that you think that a person that is in, say, their 30s, their 40s, maybe even 50s, is supposed to have a low body count.
That's what they say.
But then on the flip side of it, you have forgotten the amount of like you can't even think of rationally the amount of women that you slept with, but that doesn't mean anything whatsoever. As long as she has the low body count.
I'm gonna tell you what they say. They say that it don't matter for y'all, right? Because we are the receivers. That's the only reason they gave, because we are the receivers. But nobody else but us could catch diseases out here. But I feel it's an ego thing. But I'll let you rock out. I'm
That
coming.
and there it is.
I'll be right
there.
back. I'll be right back.
And there it is right there. That it's for me, when I hear those conversations, two things always arise in my mind. Because if you find your person, what happened before you doesn't matter to you.
Doesn't matter.
Because I am the best thing that's about to happen to your life. I believe that wholeheartedly. So when I come in with confidence. So nothing's going to shake my foundation as far as to who I am, what I bring. Right. Which is another conversation that we have, bringing stuff to the table, that double standard there. Well, let's stay on course with this one for right now.
God bless you. God bless you.
But
I think I'm gonna let you talk because they're gonna get you.
Hey, you know what?
I'm coming. Hey. I'll be right around that little mountain.
But I'm just like, when you listen to certain topics or whatever, you're like, where you having these? Like, I always ask this question. I've asked this question in a few panels that I've been on. Like, where you guys having this conversation? Like these be panel full of men, and they ask them, what's something that you have to have in a woman? What's a non-negotiable? And they say you have to have a low body count. Where are you having these how do you have these conversations? What y'all feel okay? Just wanted to know, and then once you find out, that okay, well, she's had more than say 3. For whatever reason, in your mind...
Oh, no, 3's okay. 3's okay.
No, more than... what I'm saying is, it's... Because I've heard so many people saying, like, you need to have single digits or whatever. But that's unrealistic if you say you started having sex around 16, 17, 18, your teenage years, and you met a woman that is now
30, 40.
35, 40.
Let me tell you something. Mean? Whatever us did. And I said it like that. Us. Did it. What us did. We ain't counting them.
And why would you want to know? Why you want to know?
Our brain don't calculate that.
What is the significance of knowing the number?
It's an ego thing. Because I'm gonna tell you this. This is how I feel about it. I feel like the men and the women do it because, the men do it to us because of an ego. Okay. They want to be the first of whatever it is they think they're supposed to be the first of. Okay. They don't want us to be the one to go, oh, I did that. You know, if you remember for Martin, when when Stan and Myra went out with Martin and Gina. And she's like, ooh, this is my song. He's like, yeah, I know, baby. He's like, no, not you. She said, such and such from the post office. He said, what? What you mean? He was so mad that it wasn't that she was not talking about him. So I feel like a man in their own right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like in my experience, men want to come to the table and feel like they taught you something. Just like Biggie said, I made you. Why would I play you? So they want to feel like you lay down with them and you taught them something. That's why a lot of women are out here that are afraid to be, and I'm going to say for my Christian family, when you married, your husband wants to believe that he's the only one that taught you something. Okay. And if a man, and we are scared to say, hey, I like this or I like to do this because of the fact that of this stigma.
You're not supposed to even know that.
You're not supposed to know nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You're not supposed to know that I like to be choked or something. I don't know. I'm not supposed to tell you that. Right. I'm supposed to go,
You're
wow.
Supposed to be ignorant to the fact.
I never did that before.
But that's a pride thing. That's a definite ego thing.
It's an ego thing, and that's all it is.
Because now in my head, I can envision that somebody was choking you or whatever. I say that's how you know that you like, you know what I mean?
The best man. Yeah. Remember the best man when he
exactly when Chestnut was up there on the
every time he was like having the visions.
You see
It's the
Harper with his
same thing.
woman. Yeah.
Right.
Look,
You
I wouldn't
walking
have
down
married her.
the right.
I ain't going.
Oh, see, be real now, Comply. Be real.
If we being
Come
real,
on.
like if that vision popped in my head right there, like, nope.
And guess what? Now I know that I heard. Now here go the guys that say it's not a problem. Now this is the disclaimer that I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
For the guys that say they don't want to know, and then one guy said only broke men want to know your body count. It only matters when you broke, because a man that got money and he's a high value, he don't care, because he's going to teach you something, regardless if it's something that, because he may teach you how to make lasagna, but then you didn't know that you could put oregano in it or another type of spice to the same said act and make it taste better.
I would say not necessarily money, but confidence. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, like, what I heard on the street, in the TikTok street, just what they say.
For some guys, money equates confidence. But no, if you have confidence, period, you're not going to ask that particular woman what her body count is, because I don't care nothing about your body count. Like, what went on prior to me ain't got nothing to do with me.
That should just be it, right? As long as you're not bringing me nothing, right? And we go get tested together. We're starting on a fresh new slate, me and you. Yeah. So what I also heard, and of course I'm geared to listen when the right men talk to me, because I can't listen to every guy speaking into my life. And women, you got to be careful who you're listening to, because there's some misogynistic men out here that don't want to, and they made this word pandering, because they don't want men to teach you like we're doing right now, to show you what to look out for. So you have to protect your ear gates. But what I did hear is some guys go, well, to be honest, I really don't care. But I'm going to care if I ever find out any of my dudes was with her, or somebody that I know. Another ego thing, because walking down the street or walking down in a room, a man does not want to hear, oh, I had her. Like, remember in I'm doing movies tonight, y'all don't care.
Yeah.
Remember in The Color Purple?
The Color Purple.
When they were sitting up there with
you had her my way, you had her your way, and I had her my way.
Either way, we had her.
Yeah.
Right, and they was drunk. Same thing. So, but there are men now that don't want to know, like you said, that vision from the best man to know that I was with your girl.
Yeah,
and
but I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, you just want to know the girl.
I was just thinking to myself, like, that's true. Because I got asked a question when we were talking about the body count things, like, would you ever mess around, or could you date a person that was into the adult industry? And I was like,
I can't.
If I'm being honest, no. You know what I mean? Because
that's too much now.
That's the being able to, you can't take that vision out of your head. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you turn on a video and you like, wait a minute. You turn on, you like, that's you? I don't want to watch this no more. I ain't in the mood.
I'm going to sleep. If your partner is giving them more, more
you're
activity,
like, you don't do that
more.
I didn't know you was double jointed. Look at your behind your neck like that. You walking around here like I didn't know you was bow-legged.
I'm trying to look.
So that it's definitely, it's definitely a double standard. It's a double. I didn't even think on women. So this is how I feel. We don't care we care about how many baby mamas you got, because that means that I got to deal with attitudes and jealousy and bitterness. I don't care about your sexual adventures before me. Yeah. But I need to make sure that you ain't got nothing. You're gonna give me something. That's important, because I love my body.
I did. Now it is a double standard, though, in regards, well, to a certain extent, because I've a lot of men that get with women that have multiple baby fathers. That's a no-go for them.
Yeah.
I've heard that many times. It's the same thing with men that have multiple baby mothers. But where I see the double standard is that you want someone that is good with their children, that take care of their children, things of that nature.
Yeah.
If I'm the type of person that I'm a leader of my household, things of that nature, I don't keep up a bunch of mess, or I don't have a bunch of mess around me, then
Right.
it should not matter, how many mothers I had of these children, unless it's unruly, you know what I mean? Unless
Mm-hmm.
there's always drama or whatever the case may be, or unless it adversely affects the finances of the household to where, like you can't make a decent living because of the amount of child support or
Children have.
whatever that, yeah, you know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
outside of that.
well, I'm not pushing back, but
Mm,
for me, I never had a problem with a man to have kids, right? I
right.
just don't want little kids, because little kids for
Gotcha.
me, it means that that's a potential of you having a place that you can go back and smash.
Is that like now your thought process now, or is that always been your thought process?
That's always my thought process. When you got little baby kids,
Okay.
little baby kids, you got little baby kids. There's a potential that you could go have them late night creeps. I've witnessed it. I ain't
So
I ain't exposed to nobody, but and I'm 49, and I know
you
don't look
think
it.
it's
There's
just
a
an
potential.
avenue
It's
for
an
baby
avenue.
mom.
Yes,
Got
yes.
you.
Because I feel like that 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, maybe my cutoff would be 4.
Okay.
Right? Because I think after then you either hate each other very much and y'all don't want to deal with it. But I've seen 1 and 2 still. I was at my baby mama house. I'm talking about family members.
Right.
That
Got the
the
candle
potential
lit
is
on the
there.
other. Still got
Yeah,
the candle lit.
yeah.
Okay.
So when I see it more than not
Mm-hmm.
in different aspects of my experience, then I'm more geared to believe that it's a potential. And do I want to deal with that?
Right.
For me to be
Right.
I've dealt with a guy that had 7 kids.
Okay.
Now they were
Okay.
older and they were out the house, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like I spin the block, because when I first met him, he had 7, and a lot of them was still in the house.
Got
And
you.
I thought about, first of all, I had a truck. My truck only holds 7
Mm-hmm.
seats, so I'm driving. You sitting in the front. 2 of the kids can't go.
Right.
So we can't even go nowhere. We got to take the kids out of intervals. So this ain't even going to work even if I wanted to take them anywhere.
Right.
Then I thought about having 15-year-olds. He had a 15-year-old and a 14-year-old daughter. So I already knew that was my mom passed away. You not my mother. I'm going to get the attitude. I don't think I was
Yeah.
ready for all that.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
I tried it. It didn't work. And then I spent the block. We met a couple of years later. I tried it again. Most of the kids is in college, grown, out the house. So it was only 1 kid. Then he had got married in the time that we weren't together, and then had another kid. So he got 8 now. But they broke up, and the child is like in New Mexico, something like that.
Gotcha.
So it don't really bother me with kids because I didn't have any more. So
Gotcha.
it didn't bother me. So I love kids. So that's not a deal breaker for me. The deal breaker
Right.
is how many baby mothers you have, and how and what's your relationship. And I'm gonna say this: I cannot deal with a man that doesn't take care of his kids. You can't call
Right.
me five times a day and check up on me, and then I've been with you all week and you ain't call your kid not once. That's a deal breaker.
I can understand that. Yeah.
That you cannot do that. That's a turn off. Now, if you
Right.
tell me, hey, I'm dealing with this, she won't let me see my kids, all that stuff, then we're gonna figure out. So let me step in and figure out how we gonna get you to see your kids. Because now I
Right.
really need to see the effort. Or I need to hear proof that is really on that side and not you. But for
Right.
me as a woman that went through daddy-daughter issues, and I'm not projecting because I'm over it, but yeah, I can't.
But I could get it.
I can't sit in a room like that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right. Right. And part of being in a relationship is you make the other person better. So in a situation like you compliment each other, and I don't mean
Supposed
just
to, yeah.
compliment with the I, compliment with the E. So
Absolutely.
where I'm weak, you supposed to be able to
Supposed to be
strengthen
strong.
and support. You know what I mean, and support me, or give me or find me resources that I can use, so that way I can do whatever is necessary for things to move forward and progress.
Right.
I think that in situations I've heard a lot of people talk about relationships where the new person, the person that's on the outs, is the cause of the reason why this person don't go see their children, and this, you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Why okay, when he or she got with this person, then they stopped doing this and that for the kids and all. Like,
yeah, I've seen that. So my little brother went through something similar. So he had a daughter for my first niece, and then he met somebody else. She was always around. I never saw her interact with my niece. Right? Like, and that was a problem for me. Like
Right.
literally, she lived with my brother and my mother, and the girl was there. Like, you see her hair not done. You like, oh, let me, this is my boyfriend. Can I do your daughter hair, or whatever the case? Because whenever she saw her mother, and I didn't see that interaction, it felt like a little jealous, like she didn't really want to deal. Now, when you pop up and have a baby, now it's, oh, you're not here for her. You're not doing this. You want to da da da. So I said, what's up? I said, it's weird how you okay with not being that to with his first daughter, but now that you got a child, now all of a sudden you have a problem with him running around, but you was that running around with him first.
But right.
Double standard.
Right.
So I have, and also have a problem with women that don't want to be like helping a man, a good father with their kids. That's another red flag for me on the outside.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want she don't need a mother, but I need to know that if she come over here and the mother's cool with it, and you have a conversation that, hey, I got a old lady, but this time, I don't know how to do here, but it's okay if my lady does it here, or have that rapport with your daughter or son, that you realize that they don't want to have that interaction. That's like a red flag to me. That should be a red flag for men also, with men, because women are very jealous of men kids, especially little girls.
Yeah, especially little girls. And that's on the man though, because and through proper vetting, you should be able to pick that up. And if you let that slide,
you said
if you let that slide, then
ain't nobody out here vetting nobody comply. Why you
and that's
say that?
and therein lies the problem, because
that's why we talking about double standard. I'm sorry to cut you. Proper vetting. Go look at the word vetting, everybody, because y'all don't know what that is.
Proper vetting, like you and what happens is, a lot of time, people, I tell anybody, loneliness is a mug, because loneliness will have you settling for stuff that you shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't
woulda, shoulda, knoulda.
And I've seen it so many different times where the bar is set here,
bring it down a notch,
and then you bring it and don't and they don't just bring it down just that part.
They go to hell with that bar. That bar is low. It's the bar's below the bar.
and the crazy thing is that I always wonder, like, do we make the dating pool overcomplicated? Do we make it?
You want to say pissy?
Do we are we the piss that's in the pool?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that. That's my co. That's my co-host right there. Are we the pissies? Is it us? The pool was clean before we got in it. That's wait, hold on. I gotta cut you off. That is so dope. I saw it because the pool got the Clorox, the chlorine, and the little blue pills. Everything's in the pool when we get in there. As soon as you get in it, now it's toxic.
Now it's toxic.
Message.
Now it's toxic.
Proceed. I'm sorry. I had to give you the props for that one. That was good.
Now everybody, nobody wants to take accountability.
Everybody itching.
Everybody's itching.
Everybody itching.
Pool completely dark blue.
Dark blue. It's like the Simpsons hazard pool. That hazard plant they work at.
I'm trying to tell you, and I'm like, have we overcomplicated? Because think about dating has been going on for generations, and it's not been
courting.
Yeah, courting. courting, getting to know, like for whatever reason, it seemed like it's more complex now.
Very.
For some reason, it's complex from a standpoint of just trying to get to know a person. Then because if you in certain soapboxes, you listen to certain things where it's like, the only place you're having this type of conversation is right here on the soapbox. Because if you just move away from the soapbox and go and get amongst other folks, no one's talking about this.
Nobody's talking about it. That's why I was so mad today.
Yeah, when I hear the body count, when I hear the pick me, when I hear the pander, like
it's horrible. So let me tell you why I'm mad, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna be as intelligent as I can be because I don't want to be emotional. It's not a trigger for me. I'm frustrated. Me trying to help women to self-love, to take accountability for the things that we do in relationships, and to be aware of certain men to be around and to avoid. And then you get on these TikTok streets, Instagram, and you got men that are actually trying to help, i.e. Derrick Jackson, i.e. Steve Harvey, i.e. Ace Metaphor. You have it's a lot of men Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah.
You have a lot of men out here that are for the women, right? Mm-hmm. No matter what, we're human. Everybody's going to make a mistake. These men, y'all want them to walk upright, and they supposed to be blameless. They're gonna make mistakes, but guess what? Because they're catering to us. They're niche as women, and they used to be these F boys. They were called. They used to be the men that we needed to be aware of. Now they see their evil ways, and they have come from amongst it. They're trying to show us as women, because we don't have the fathers and the brothers, and we weren't raised to be protected by certain men in our lives. Some of them actually took advantage of us. Now we got men out here that don't owe us anything, that's giving us the game, giving us the bro code, and y'all men are mad. So when said men talk that way, I'm noticing that the misogynistic men, or the men that want to keep us at that level of hell, that bar, now they're talking about, they're pandering, they just doing that, or they pimping you out. This is not how it is. They're going to keep you single. A man telling me to protect myself from the men that's telling me to not take money, but to protect myself from a certain kind of man that they used to be, I'm going to listen. But you want me to not listen and give a name to that person because it's you they talking about. Because you can't be mad at another man looking out for women. How do you turn that around and make that into something dirty or evil, but then you are sitting here calling women 304s and TikTok 304s and HOEs and you with a Pookie and a Ray Ray, but the same man is telling us in a different type of energy than you're saying it, but then you're mad, and and that's what made me. I sat on TikTok today, and when I say the name of the podcast of the TikToker person that I follow and listen to, but I used to like their podcast because I thought they brought stuff to the community. But as I listen closer, I just see the men and how they think they're helping us. You know how somebody would throw a snide remark at you, and then when you catch it, I'm just playing. Right. Oh no, I didn't mean it like that.
Throw the rock, hide your hand.
Right, throw the rock, hide your hand, and gaslight you. Oh no, it's like, because that's why you're never gonna be with nobody. It's like a spew of evilness, but then you're mad because they're actually men that are telling us this, and they're making more money than you. So this is the part that I had. So now there's a trend on TikTok that goes, you have a open forum. People come up. Now you got these hosts that are taking money. $20 drop you off the box. $10 if you wanna, like, say right now me and you talking and they don't like what we're saying. Somebody could actually send their Cash.app them $20 to drop us out the box from speaking. Or send a message, but they're making money. But then in the same breath, you say, but these people over here they're making millions of dollars because they're over here taking the women money. What's the difference between a man helping me out and telling me I'll pay him, but I'm not going to pay $20 to you to drop somebody out the box because they talking. Who's the manipulator? Right. You got to be kidding me. I'm sorry, but it's annoying to see that.
I agree. It's
annoying. And that's why I really didn't know I wanted to talk about it today. But it's like, women, like, please be careful with these so-called men that's hiding behind this And even the ones that may be acting like they're helping us, you got to use discernment to know what is what. Because everybody's trying to make $1. Let's be real. These people are not doing things only just because they want to help. They like, this is the thing. You got a gift, you get paid for it. I help women, I get paid for it. But I was doing it for free for a long time.
Right.
It's my gift. Right? So now, but not a gift to sit up there and say, hey, pay me $20 to drop somebody out the box. That ain't a gift. That's manipulation and a hustle.
Yeah.
But you mad because the women are sitting that don't have a father, don't have brothers, are sitting here and they're looking for, because women, this is what they say. Women like to hear things and men like to see things. So we wear the makeup for y'all to see us in our BBLs, and y'all spew the lies so we can feel loved. So they think the men are lying to us, but because y'all being real, that ain't helping us at all. I land.
You know, and in saying that, one of the things that I wanted to mention, you know, I'm not a real spiritual person, but you know, I had to look it up real quick. When it says Proverbs 18:16, where it says, "A man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men."
Amen. Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's a prime example of it right there. Your gift making room for you. You know what I mean?
Yes, your gifts and talents. Yes.
Right. So, but I was listening to one of the things that I really have an issue with is people that project. Right. So you feel a certain type of way, and instead of you addressing why you feel that way, you feel like it's necessary to throw darts or whatever at the other person. So
Absolutely.
A lot of the time, what you're saying about me is how you feel about yourself, but you just won't say it to you. You continuously keep lying to you. And one of the things that I've learned being in some of these panels and stuff and trying to be helpful is that not everybody deserves help. And that's just where it is. Like, not everybody deserves help. If you aren't in the mindset to receive and to want to do better, and you don't have the heart to do it, because it takes courage to want to do better.
Amen.
It takes bravery to want to do better, because that means that what the norm is, I'm breaking that norm. I'm going against it. So I'm pulling myself away from where it's comfortable and where it's it's popular, and I'm gonna stand over here on my own if I have to stand on my own.
Like what
it's not necessary to stand on your own, because there are other people over here too that believe the same way that you do. But it takes bravery to be able to get amongst the crowd and get over here. And if you're not brave enough, toodles. Like, you can drop me as many times as you want to. They ain't gonna stop. They ain't gonna stop my flow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm still going to get the way that my gift has been given to me is that I can be in front of people that I'm going to get someone's ear. You know what I mean? I'm going to be able to speak to someone, and so my message is not going to stray. It's not going to differ because of the fact that, you know, someone else was able to give you $20 or gift you, or you know what, you didn't like what I said, so you're going to mute me, or drop me.
It's not a gift.
That's cool.
But how you gonna talk about somebody else that's really giving information? Like, my thing about it is that there was to be a time when not y'all men, but men would say, "Oh, you bro code, the bro code, the bro code. Don't tell this." It's like like the blue code for PD, right? You know, the honor, like, you don't say certain stuff. You don't tell. No. What is it? Don't say, don't tell. Something like that.
No kiss and tell. Yeah.
Right. I might be saying it wrong, but y'all get what I'm saying. But now there are men that are saying, hey, you know what? I got a daughter. I have sisters. And
that part,
the way that I've been acting in my F-boy era, it ain't get me far. I realize how many women that I have passed down this path that I've walked, that I haven't been a nice person, and I've actually manipulated and hurted a lot of women. And guess what? you cannot walk through life and think that your skeletons is not going to catch up with you. You can't knowingly hurt a woman, knowingly hurt a man, and think that your life is going to go the way that it's supposed to go, especially if you haven't wholeheartedly apologized. So let me say this. Maybe these men that have woken up and said, you know what, I'm going to tell the women everything so they can be careful. And now if you take the information and I put it to you on a platter, fine. Maybe this is my way of giving back to the women that I've hurt because I can't go back. I can't go back and apologize. So
because you can revisit them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might hurt 10.
Sometimes you can. Yeah.
Right. I hurt 10 or 20. I'm going to save 50 or 60 of them. But now it's just a thing. Everybody's making up words. Now everything is a word. If I don't like what you're talking or you telling secrets, I'm gonna call you pick me. If you over here standing on truth and exposing men and telling women what to stay away from, now you're a pandering. Like, come on, like give me a break.
You know the greatest thing about that though is that it ain't about what you call me; it's what I answer to. You know what I mean? So you can say that again. Call me whatever you want.
And I say that all the time.
You know what I mean? You call me whatever you want. But one is that if you call me that, one is I ain't got to respond to you at all. I don't owe you that energy ever. And then secondly is that okay, so what is that? Does that take away from what my truth is? Like, okay, you can call me a panda. You can call me a panda. Okay, I'd be a panda. I'd be a grizzly. I'd be, whatever
I'll
you,
be the bear.
You know what I'm saying. You call
me
whatever. Call me whichever, a koala, whatever.
Call me Winnie Pooh.
I mean? What? Exactly. You know what I'm saying. I go find a honey pot and a yellow shirt. You know what I'm saying? Call me whatever.
Smokey the Bear out here. What?
Just call me truthful at the end of the day.
Just call me truthful, right? If you want to keep it up.
Yeah, and that's where I've been at. So, And I have to say this because a question got asked to me before, like why do I feel it necessary to be kind and respectful and stuff like that? And I said I feel it necessary to be kind and respectful because I have been disrespectful. I have been unkind.
Come on.
I've been down those roads, and I've reaped that harvest.
And what we just talking about. Exactly.
You know, you put in what you put in the earth, you gonna get back. Like it's just it's guaranteed. You know, it's guaranteed to happen. So there was a lot of things like, you know, as I speak a lot from my personal perspective because I did a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I wasn't always this person here that could, you know, speak with like some of the people that's going to be listening to this that know me from back in the day. Be like, man, that ain't the dude that I knew in school. Right. And that's fine. I understand. Right. You know what I mean?
Change.
But again, you know, I found the error in my way.
Something is wrong.
Something is wrong. Like I'm about to be 45 years old. Like if I am the same way at 45 that I was at 20, there is a problem with
There is a problem. And guess what? And these men that are on these, and then it's so weird because they have stories. One of them, the women go, you know, women, we sleep with our mom. We find a secret about you. We know how to cut you with it. All right? Like a man's DV, domestic violence, put in his hands is equivalent to a woman's mouth to y'all. That's how, because the same pain, right? I get it. Don't come for me. I know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to tell you that how somebody can hurt somebody. Our mouth, when it comes to us as women, to men, is very, very, very sharp. If you want to break a man down, all you gotta do is say certain things to him. You don't understand that because when a man loves you, he takes everything his woman says in accountability every time. So you got to be careful. So when you have that aspect of it, they're on here and the women are saying, hey, well, you cheated on your wife 20 years ago and you got a whole baby out there. Or you over here, but they're not changing as they talking. They just found a platform to be able to do what Kevin Samuels used to do. Right? He's great because he told women as it is. You know, women now, and this was the guy said. He said, if a man come to you, and I'm gonna try to see if I can stitch the clip in between here so you can see what I'm talking about. So the guy says in the clip, he goes, If a man come up to you, say hello, say Cash App. If he come up to you, say Zelle. So basically, he was saying is that these no good pookies and these dusty dudes out here, if they want to come and waste your time, how to repel them? Ask them, tell them my Cash App is this. Like, not saying to ask for money, but saying that because a man won't be detoured from that because you know what you're getting. Right. So they took it as like, oh, he's gonna have you out here being a 304 because he got you selling yourself. That's not what he meant. He said a real man is gonna take care of his woman and gonna be a provider. He was given extreme of how to make these said men stay away from us. But they took it as, oh, he's pimping y'all, he's taking money from y'all. Y'all just mad because the man is rich, and he lives his life a certain way, and they don't like it.
I would say that response is going to depend on the type of man that you say that to, because there are certain ones that the conversation isn't the service. You know what I mean? Right. So if you say Zelle, Cash App, or whatever else like that, the conversation ain't the service. Exactly. It's, you know what I mean? Right. You know, they got something else in mind. And so that's why I say you're going to have women out here being 304s or whatever else like that, because I could talk to you for free. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like the conversation don't cost nothing.
No, it doesn't. But, right. Not at hello. I get that. What I was saying is that when you listen to more of his messages, he's extreme with what he's saying. So you have to, and I guess maybe some women and men are not that smart to know how to decipher a conversation or dissect it to get the nuggets out of it. But I get that part what you're saying, and I get what they were saying, but I also get what he was also saying because I listened to him. But again, but again, instead of them saying, okay, well, he may have been, like you just said, he may have been a little far fetched with that aspect. Right. But instead of just trying to disassemble his whole way of thinking and what he's about, you just you dissected everything about him except that one thing.
And you know,
he's getting money. Society now, like, come on, it's horrible.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, our society now, the pendulum swings a lot, either real far left or real far right. It's but it never is like a even balance right here.
No,
like,
not now.
You know what I mean?
Not now.
So it's like it's an outlier this way or outlier that way. Well, it's never the median in between where, okay, you know what? And that's where I try to be. You know, I try to give the gray area because it's like, you know, it's like people now that people, and there are certain people, let's just be honest, there's certain people that should not have microphones and platforms to say certain things because all they are doing is just bringing damnation and destruction to our community. Let's just be honest about it. Like, it's unfortunate that some people have the platforms to be able to spew some of the stuff that they spew, because you are hurt, and then you're hurting other people. Yes, and you're not caring about the hurt that you're spreading.
They don't. They hide under the umbrella. We're helping the community, because this is how I feel. You're not gonna see me get on here by myself and try to talk to men, right? Just like I don't think men should get on there sometime and talk to just women. If you are saying there's Pookie and Ray Rays out here and you know there are potential for men to be better that may turn to the ones that are helping us because they can't say, I apologize. Like I said last week on our podcast when I said to y'all men, I see you. I appreciate y'all. You know, I'm sorry for whatever we've done. That's taking accountability because I may not be able to apologize to maybe the men that I've hurt. But if I can take accountability and put myself and say, hey, I am in this place that I want to take accountability and say sorry, then that's what you do. What I have a problem with is that why don't you they have this bro code day, whatever. Why don't you take a whole bunch of men, and I know they help the community, but why don't you take these so-called men you talk about and talk to them and tell them, hey, what you're doing to our community, leaving babies behind because you just wanted a good time. Now you're raising up a legacy that's not going to survive. Hey, you know, I understand that you didn't have a father figure or uncles or big brothers to see you through, but let me take you under my wing and show you the right way to do. No, you want to get on and talk to us and pull us down so that we take. But you tell us not to take the Pookie and Ray Rays, but in the same breath, when we standing up for ourselves and say, "Hey, I know my worth." Oh no, well you got two kids and you never been married and you got 2 baby fathers. So now you're judging me and telling my value by my past. But then you wanna tell me who to stay away from and tell me to keep my legs closed. But even if I do that, you're telling me that what I've done in the past and what I have going
It's
on right
already held
now,
against you.
it devalues me.
Right.
So you gotta make your mind up, because it's confusing for the woman that's looking for guidance. Because let's be real, we talked about the mental health. We're gonna do a woman's one, but a lot of people don't want to go to therapy. So they jump on these TikTok streets and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and looking for an answer. So I felt like this is the reason why we did what we did. Not to be controversial and down nobody, because guess what? If I do break you down, I have the skills and the tools to build you back up.
Right.
Because now you're going to see, dag, she said that, but you know what? She left me with this. It's not the end of the world. They're not leaving nobody with no resolve.
Right.
So I know our podcast is right. I know our podcast is going to go far, but it's going to go slow because we're not talking nothing that people want to hear. It's not controversial enough, right? I'm not cursing you while you're not cursing me out. So it's going to be like, oh, they boring. But let me get on here tomorrow talking crazy, cursing you out, being disrespectful, emasculating you, and you disrespecting me. Oh, we'll have a whole bunch of fire. We'll be at 50,000 by the end of the week.
Right. And that's something that I've noticed. Drama sells, and I've never been a dramatic person. You know what I mean? That's for me. It's like, what's the end goal? And if the end goal is, okay, I want to big up my people. I want to build up my people. I want to help my people. I have a vested interest in my people and, their success and their prosperity and their well-being. And I don't want nothing back from it, just for you to listen to me, just for you to hear me when I say that.
Yeah.
I care. I care about, even if I don't know you, I care about you. Like exactly. I want the best out of you, because the world deserves the best of us.
The best version of ourselves. Yes.
The world deserves what is the best of our people. So, in a situation like that, I get it. I understand that, the more controversial the topics, the more, there is a lot of pandering and, backbiting and going back and forth and things of that nature. That's good entertainment, quote unquote. You know what I mean? That's why you see the Real Housewives and all of these different other, reality TV series doing so well. And I mean, it's a niche. Drama is a niche, and drama sells.
But then also, on that flip side, sorry to cut you off. In the flip side of the reality TV, these young the new generation, and even our generation, they want to live that life. But you can't take somebody's 30-minute, because even though you watch it for an hour, it's 30 minutes of commercial and 30 minutes of edited a show that they done edited down to get the best 30 minutes. And then they put 5 minutes of that, maybe 2 minutes of that in a clip on YouTube and TikTok. And now you running around here thinking that you are entitled to that same lifestyle. But to be honest, even though it's drama, these people actually have thriving businesses. They're making money. They're telling their life story to a certain point. Some of it is scripted. So you out here trying to be like the Joneses. Be like yourself.
Be yourself.
So
to thine own self be true.
To thine own self be true, because you are out here misinformed by what you're watching. You gotta do what you need to do. Find your calling, find what you are supposed to be doing, and stop worrying about the sideline and trying to get this fast money, because that's not how it works. Nothing worth having. It takes anything worth having takes work.
It takes work and it takes time. Period. It takes sweat. It takes tears.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like
you
oven,
appreciate
stop using
it
the
more.
microwave. Oven food tastes better than the microwave.
It sure does.
Come
As a cook,
on.
I can tell you that it
What?
sure does.
Certain things like now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The air fryer has been my best friend because there's certain things that need a crisp. Like you bake some baked chicken or some maybe some fish that you had. You can't throw that in no
In the
microwave.
microwave, nah.
What? A
You
microwave. I'd
just
rather
ruined
put
the
it in
whole
my.
joint
If I don't got an air fryer, I'm rather throw it on broil and put it in my oven to
in
get
the oven, right?
to revive it. A
Mm-hmm.
microwave? You be no,
Yeah,
don't give me no microwave. I can heat up
yeah.
rice and beans. That's about it. Anything else, I put in my air fryer. I put in my oven.
But see,
I like the results better than that.
is that the other part of the double standard? Is the laziness in the dating pool? Like, is that the other part of it? Is that
Just
nobody really
waiting,
wants to do like you
just
want
waiting in the water.
certain
They're not even
things?
swimming.
Yeah,
Right.
you want certain things, so you want to be out there on the deep end or whatever else like that. But you don't want to paddle out there to the deep end. You just want to be just out there in the
With your
deep
feet
end.
in the
You know what I'm
water.
saying?
That's it.
You
Right to your knees. That's
you
it.
you over here on the steps sitting down with your feet in the water, but you want to be over there in the deep, but you don't want to do the
No,
swimming.
but you don't want to do the swimming. No, you just want to sit
You
up
know what I
there and
mean?
do the dead man float.
So
No, not
is
doing
that
that.
part of the double standard? Is that you want so much out of the date, you expect so much out of the dating pool, but you don't want to put in the work that is necessary in order to get the
Nope.
rewards of the said dating pool?
There's no work. Nobody wants to do no work. There's no work. Nobody wants to do no work apply. Everybody wants it handed to them on a platter.
Hmm.
Even our generation, not even just
Yeah,
the young kids. I said this: if the Pookie and the Ray Rays and whatever you want to call the Bukishas and all them, if they want to just be who they want to be, let them be.
let them be.
Everybody ain't gonna be saved. Everybody ain't gonna be turned from a message. Ain't nobody gonna change. There's some people out here that just gonna be who they are. We're
Yeah,
doing this for the people that want change and just don't know how to do it.
right.
So I'm not wasting my energy
Yeah.
and talking to people that I know ain't like even with my girls group that I do bi-weekly.
Hmm.
I was stressing myself out in the beginning. Now, if you want me to help you, I'm going to do it. But if I see you doing certain things on TikTok and my work is going to hell, I'm not stressing it. I'm not
Right.
doing that. No.
Right.
I want
Right.
you to want it because I can't do it for you.
Yeah. And see, that's the other part of it is that, you know, and me wanting stuff for you, you have to want it just as bad as I cannot want anything
Right.
more than you want it for yourself. And I think that a lot of these content creators and these people that have these large platforms, especially, I think that you know I think that there's a lot of people that don't realize just how hurt they are, and like they're profiting off of pain. You get what I'm
Ooh.
saying? Like
Ooh, that
you're
I need to write that
profiting off
down.
of pain.
He said
You
profit off
profit
of
like
pain.
the more I get to show you how bad it is, the more you'll invest in me instead of okay, how do we resolve these issues? Like you can
That part.
I can tell you, you know what, hey,
I had to
you
write
know
that
what,
down.
I can tell you, you know what, that backyard, in my backyard, nothing grows. I can tell you that every summer there ain't nothing but weeds and stuff that grow there. Okay, but what am I doing about that?
Nothing.
And,
You got
and
to go
after a
till that
while,
ground.
and if after a while, if I'm steady saying this to you, like, man, Shauna, another summer came, man, and I ain't got nothing but weeds in the backyard. After a while, Shauna's gonna get tired of hearing
Hearing it,
me
right,
say, okay, all right, so what you gonna do about it?
right. I'm
What
gonna
you gonna
give
do
you some
about it?
advice. I'm like, so you go to Home Depot, get some good soil. You get your tail, go get a rake, call somebody. Call somebody to come out there and cut the weeds for you. Get your ground
Get
reconditioned.
right, but and that's the
And
thing
you
is
ain't do
that
it.
it's but I'm steady telling you about it.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm steady telling you,
Mm-mm.
man, men ain't nothing. Men ain't this. Men ain't that. This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that.
Yep.
Okay. And so how do you resolve that? What do you do? How do you fix that? The
Why you
men
keep
that,
picking?
and
Why you keep picking eight-ish men?
why is it?
Why
Why
you
is it?
why you got the same pick?
What energy is it that brings, because we are all moth to flames. Certain flames is going to attract certain moths.
That's
Not
right.
all, you know what I mean? Not all moths gather around the same fire.
Sure don't.
You know what I mean? There's fires everywhere. There's lights everywhere now. And if they're attracted to light and only certain moths get attracted to certain lights, then why are you a certain type of fire? And can you change that? Can you address that? There's an accountability level that is within yourself always. And I say that with men as well. Look, stop. If you keep getting attracted to the same type of fire, you keep flying to the same type of fire. You
keep
do it.
Losing your wing. Your wing keep on you ain't learned. You ain't learned nothing. Walk around here with a little wing and one big wing, going in circles. Right. What is wrong with you? Stay away.
Right.
Stay away. But that is so good because it's like now talking again to the women, accountability, self-reflection, sitting with yourself, wondering why I keep being attractive to the same type of men. After a while, it's not them. It's you.
Can't be.
It's you. I've sat with women that said, "Oh yeah, because I did this and I got tired, and I had the first baby and da 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 da, and I was so tired." Okay, so you learn your lesson. 2 years later, yeah, I'm so tired, baby number 2, and I don't understand. Da 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 da. Okay, you learn. I know you learn your lesson now. Maybe you just want to, get the baby somebody to play with. 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Still doing the same thing. Now you tired. Ain't got no babysitters. Cause we don't gotta watch them. And now you not opening your eyes and go, it's me. I'm lonely. I don't pick right. I'm not vetting long enough. I don't even know how to date.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to one man tell me anything, and I'm gonna jump on it because I'm lonely and I'm insecure and I don't know my worth. So when the man comes with his soothing lies, I'm geared to believe it because I need to hear that right now. I just need somebody to soothe me and tell me that I'm worthy. I just need somebody to come and tell me that I'm beautiful. Like lie to me and then lay with me and lie to me again. Use me. I just want to be held. Half the time, these women jumping in the bed, they don't even want the sex. They just want to be held. They just want to be held. They just want to be kissed on. They don't care. Half the women, we know when men are lying to us, but we so broken, Kapla, and so hurt that we don't even care at that moment. We just want to feel good. Like, here I go. I'm sorry, y'all. But Monster Ball, do something to make me feel good. Remember Halle Berry?
Make me feel good.
Make me feel good. Remember, I'm sorry, but the movie's just coming, y'all. Okay, every movie.
You
message.
Know what? I'm with it.
I'm saying,
that's my thing right there.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. Yeah. You just sometimes we are the problem, ladies. And I told you this in my other podcast, the Girl Took No Chaser podcast. I tell you this all the time. It's sometimes it's us. We know when we're being lied to. We start manipulating them to manipulate us.
Yeah.
You know you're not supposed to go with that dude. You know he ain't that. You know he don't deserve you.
And there it is right there. Like,
but you just need it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you sacrifice one thing, for another, You want love, you want respect, you want these things, you want to be provided for and protected and stuff like that. But you'll sacrifice the respect. So he don't necessarily have to be respectful to you in public or around the family or whatever else like that. Just as long as
calling me a witch, it's okay.
Right, just as long as you make sure the bills is paid. And
right. Yeah. It's okay. Push me down a little bit. It's all right. You was mad. I shouldn't have did that.
I shouldn't have did that. And I'm a person also though. In saying that, I say this for men. Just because you have the power to doesn't mean that you should choose to.
Right. Just
It's
because
a
you can
bigger,
don't mean you should.
it's, right. It's a bigger reflection on your character when there's no consequences to your action and you choose to not do it because it's the moral thing, it's the morally right thing to do versus I do it. I'm not going to do it because there's a consequence to it. When there's no consequence
Mm-hmm.
and you still like, nah,
Yeah, I'm
that
good.
lets you know what type of character, what who you are as a person.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I can tell you like as and you know a little bit of my backstory.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, growing up, I didn't know either one of my parents,
Right.
and when you're young, like I still had a love for my biological mother, even though I didn't know her. You know
Right.
what I mean? I knew she was out there. I
Right.
knew, the people that I was living with wasn't my real people. So, I always had love for her, until I found out that part of the reason why we were taken was because of neglect and abandonment.
Mm.
That stung differently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Reading the words of
Mm-hmm.
why we were taken from him. And you have to know that, for the longest time I let people and myself, even I held on to, well, she was young, this,
Yeah.
that, and the third, and she might not have the right resources around her and things of that nature. The when I got to being a father myself though,
Mm.
like my whole perspective on that changed.
Okay.
And my perspective on it changed because I was like, I wouldn't care what was going on in my children's life.
Right.
Like, I need to know what's going on with them. You know what I mean? I would never not be there, no matter what my circumstances is.
You got to
You
make it
know,
there. Yeah.
I
You're
get
gonna
you.
be
You
there.
have to. You know what I mean? And I'm just the father. I'm the I didn't carry them. So
Mm.
I feel like there's a certain type of bond that the mother has with the child
Yeah.
because of the fact that you carry it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to,
So
at least.
it's
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so um I was like, when you realize after one child that I can't, I can't, I can't take care of one child. You stop having children. You know what I mean?
No. No.
Then after
No.
two, two, okay, I need. You stop.
Mm.
8 children later.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, so it was a blessing to me that by the time I found her, she had already left here.
Mm. Okay.
And the reason why it was a blessing to me is because I knew we would be in conflict in
Mm.
regards to our views on that particular subject. Because now I got kids. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you can't tell me that you were going through X, Y. I've been through X, Y,
Right.
Z, and it may not be the same as you,
Right.
but
But I would never.
you always had an
Well.
option
Well,
though.
let me tell you something. So, no pushback, but this is another
Hmm.
perspective for the perspective podcast.
Hmm.
I've kudos to you for one for that type of environment, being raised and being the dad that you are, because it could have went another way. You could have
Yes.
used an excuse of, well, I didn't have my mom or my dad, didn't know, I don't even know who I am because I don't even know my lineage, right? So I don't know
Right.
how to be a dad or to my kids because I didn't have it. That's an excuse that a lot of us use even knowing our parents. So
Right.
kudos to you for just still stepping up, because it could go either way. You got fathers that didn't have their father and they're amazing, and then you got fathers that didn't know their father and they are like their father, and vice
Hmm.
versa.
Right.
What I will say is that I've heard, and I could, about my story too when it comes to my mom.
Hmm.
I had to hear that even though we can say that they could have found a better way, right?
Hmm.
What I feel is that because of our black culture, a lot of things wasn't allotted to our mothers, right?
Okay.
We don't well, I don't know your story, but I could say I heard my mom's story to a certain point and realized that the way she was raised, there wasn't a lot of things allotted to her, so she made the decision of survival. Our
Gotcha.
parents were raised on survival. They were raised on neglect. They were raised on abuse, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And thank God that somebody stepped in and removed y'all, or she gave, or parents that give up their kids, and then may not, you may not look at it in that aspect, because like you said, a kid just want they parent. Right. When it comes to, I don't care about no child support. I just want my dad to be there. I just want mom to be there. So I just say, at a different perspective, sometimes back then, like even with the little clip that you had showed me. Now that was in the 70s, the 80s. Now imagine what it was in the 70s then.
Right.
And that was just one part. That was Newark.
Right.
So imagine how it was for I don't know how your mom was, but imagine your mother maybe had been born in the 50s. So my mother was born in the 50s. So imagine how bad it was then having a kid. And what age? My mother had me after she was 18 or whatever the case may be. But I want to, I'm not trying to like make that a part about it, because I know we'll talk about that eventually some other time. But I just want to say kudos to you. And just sometimes we can say that, but they may not have had the wherewithal like we have now. So
Yeah.
just a perspective, got my little hat on,
Gotcha.
not taking nothing away from how you feel. Your feelings are valid, but I just realized that, like Pastor T.D. Jake said, he said that sometimes we are a gallon, we're a gallon of love, like a gallon of milk, and we require a gallon to feel full,
To
right?
feel love.
To feel
Fill us
love,
back up.
if so, to pour into me, I need to get a gallon from you, because I'm a gallon of a person.
Right.
And that's just how I think I had the real forgiveness for my dad. He's dead and gone. He wasn't there for me either. So the forgiveness that I had to hear was, but suppose your parents are just a pint.
Just a pint. They ain't got
of
enough.
milk. And then they pour that pint into your gallon. That's all they have.
Right.
So they have given us all that they can possibly have. And I was like, wow. And I felt like,
that's a good analogy.
Pastor T.D. Jakes said it. And I sat there and I got a gallon of milk. And then I went and got a pint or whatever. And I looked at both of them together, and I'm like, they both are full. But if I take the gallon and pour it into the pint, it overflows.
It'll overflow, yeah.
But if you take that pint and pour it into me, I require more, but that's all you got. So, and I'm tearing up because I was like, whoa, maybe I'm being selfish because I don't really know my mom and dad's story, right? If we didn't never hear it, we don't know what they really went through. But I sat here the other day and my mom said something to me, and I can't say it on here because, that's not what the podcast is about. But I'll tell you behind the scenes. She said something to me pertaining to something that happened to me. And I'm thinking like, oh, you wasn't there. And, I was in my little girl era. And but then when she said something, I'm like, wow, she went through the same thing I went through. And here I am, still mad at her because I thought she should have protected me more. But I didn't realize that she wasn't protected either.
Right.
So it's like it's like we come from that slavery mentality, and it keeps going on, keep going, and it keeps going, and we go, oh, we the victim, you should have been there, and then if you just hear a little bit of their story, and it's like, okay, I can understand, but I still want you to take accountability.
That part right there.
So I get what you're saying, but I just looked at it for a second because I went through that myself, and I know I told you about it a little bit, but
that's awesome though. Like you actually made me look at something differently. You know how I am. I'm always gonna give kudos where they belong. So you definitely changed my thought process in this conversation, this little conversation, because I've never ever thought about it in that particular light before.
Yeah, me either. I'm telling you, I sat there, I was like, oh snap. And I got the chills the same way that I just said it. And I'm like, let me go get some milk. And I was like, wow. I'm really sorry. Like, I had to apologize. My father's dead and gone. I can't apologize, but I had to say it out because
Right.
I
Just
think I
put it
was
out
running
there.
around here just being mad and not hearing his story. And then when he passed
Right.
away, I finally heard what he really went through. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I get it. You know, and
Right.
all I can say is that we are here and they were just the channel that we had to come through to get
Right. To
here.
get
And
here.
that's
Yeah.
and they were chosen, broken and
Mm-hmm.
all,
Mm-hmm.
but we here.
To get
And
us
look
where
how
we
we
at.
turned
Yeah.
out. Right.
Yeah.
And their
And
greatest
then
accomplishment is us.
yeah.
They may not be able to brag about nothing else, but
Yeah.
just who we are right now as adults.
Yeah.
So just a little,
I
just something to look at, you know.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that 1000%. Um, and just to because then we pushing up on the time, so I wanted to say, like, in regards to the double standard, though,
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of people don't understand that a lot of times the double standard is just your own thinking, is
Right.
the way you choose to think,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
because just because, like you said earlier, just because, okay, well, so and so believes this way, or so and so says this, or
Mm-hmm.
just because Steve or Dr. Umar or whomever else that you
Right.
may listen to, it doesn't even matter who that may be. Just
Right.
because they feel or think a certain type of way, that does not necessarily pertain to every single person
Right.
under this sun.
Mm-hmm.
You have to discern, you have to vet, you have to think, you have
Yes.
to
For your own
live
self.
for
Yes.
your own self. For
Yeah.
your own self. Everything that you do is going to be for the happiness of you. And so
Exactly.
if you don't care anything about if body counts don't mean nothing to you, stop getting on these doggone platforms and stuff like that, talking about body counts or listening about body counts, because it would discourage you.
It
It would
will.
discourage.
It
And
will. And it does.
a lot of the time, when you say there's piss in the pool, you are the pissy person. You're pissing in the pool. like, just understand. Like, if there's piss, if
It's
every
you,
pool
Pee
you
Wee.
get in, if every pool you get in is pissing, guess who keep pissing in it?
You busy. It's you.
You know what I'm saying? You floating amongst the piss.
But
So, take yourself out of the pool,
right.
do what you need to do, and find what's best for you.
Yeah.
And nobody else can make the determination but you.
But you. So let me piggyback off that before we close. I also want to say to everybody listening, thank you for one. Um, with the double standards, it seems that it's something, it's not written anywhere, but it seems like the majority of the men rule and make this a thing, and it's like a societal stigma that's basically affecting our community, because you saying that, oh, I did it, you did it, but you're more wrong than me because I am a man, and that's not fair. And because we keep pushing the agenda of it, it keeps growing and it keeps gaining momentum. So what I want to say to the women again, this is all I'm going to say. Be very strategic and very careful who you allow to speak into your ear gates. What you watch, who you listen to, what you take in, because unfortunately, we are the Eve that sat at the tree and let a snake talk to us. And we are sitting here in 2024 listening to a whole bunch of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
These men out here have nothing to show for it. These men are sitting in a square like this. Nothing on their platform is showing anything that's saying success, saying that they're changing, they're helping, they're the best of men, the best of dads, but they can get on here and they can criticize us because of a body count. And then let me tell you what else they do. That's a double standard. You're not worthy to them to be a wife or a girlfriend, but they still will add to your body count. They're still going to sleep with you. Your body count don't matter because they're not going to wife you. But if they was going to wife you, now it's a problem. You're not worthy enough to them to be somebody that they would date, but you're worthy enough to take this D that they want to give you. So that's another thing that you got to be careful. These same men sit on here and talk about how low these women are and BBLs and all this stuff, but they still will sleep with you. So that tells you a lot. So they're not repelled by you. They just going to give you a little inkling about what they don't like to keep you at bay, but they're still going to come and they're still going to violate you. They're still going to lay down with you. So I need y'all to take that into consideration and see, oh, I'm not worthy. And I say, if even for me, being a plus size woman, I've heard it. Most men don't like plus size women. And then I heard a little clip the other day, and the lady said, me being the size I am, I ain't never had a man mouth not on me. I said, ooh. That means she ain't lonely. Right? Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is that they use us. So I say, leave me and my fat self alone. If I'm minding my business and I ain't bothering you, or the 304s ain't bothering you, but you still find us, you still are preying on us. So that says more about y'all and less about us and your double standard life. Leave us alone. If our body count and our weight and how many kids or marriage that we didn't have or whatever the case may be, if it makes us to be the alien nation of the world, then leave us alone. Let us be by ourselves. Don't touch us. Don't talk to us. But you're not going to do that. So how bad are we really?
That part,
and I leave it right there.
I mean, judge not lest ye be judged by the same measure. So my thought process is that don't be unrealistic. If you know, you just do inventory on yourself. That's the only person that you need to do inventory on. You do inventory on yourself before you make these unrealistic, irrational type of requests and conversations and put this out here where, now you're making people feel as if they're less of a person. They're less of a human being. Mm-hmm. They're not worthy of this. They're not worthy of that or whatever. Meanwhile, you're not worthy of your own self. You're not worthy of the stuff that you asking for.
You ain't worthy.
And to be honest with you, that's where you need to start is, okay, I am not worthy of certain types of women, because don't outreach yourself. Don't outreach yourself. Okay. You know what? You know, your body count is high. You keep a whole bunch of drama and mess, and you got multiple baby mamas and stuff like that. You already know this. Like, this in this part of your life, you might want to do something different than you have been doing before, and that's perfectly fine. But be realistic about who you are when you're trying to judge someone else.
That's right.
You cannot throw. You cannot sit here and tell somebody else to clean up their house and yours is completely in shambles. Clean up your house.
Right.
You know?
Don't come and throw rocks in my house and you live in a glass house.
And you live in a glass house too.
Don't do that.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure, Shauna. I knew this one was going to be a good one. We tried to keep it at 45, but this one went over.
Nah, this couldn't be. This
couldn't have been a 45. Not this one.
Nah, like we rock out. Y'all just be listening to us. We be sitting in our living room, but y'all just rock out.
You know what I'm saying? This is me. This is me all day. This is me and Shauna. We talk like this, even when we're not on. This is how we talk. You know what I mean?
So get used to it.
Get used to it.
It gets better from here.
It gets better.
Thank you for joining us for another successful podcast. I'm your girl, Shauna Speaks to Inspire, and I'm with my co-host.
And I'm Just Comply.
Just Comply. Later, y'all. Have a good night. God bless.
Good night. God bless.